Alpha and Omega 3.
The search for more money.
Everything is fucking awesome.
Yep, 3. In case you live under a rock or something. Well, honestly, those probably have Wi-Fi these days. Okay, so unless you're Amish, you're probably already aware of these terrible films. Everyone knows their legacy. If you're here from one of my other videos, welcome. We're up to sin number 3, the Great Wolf Games. Yes, sin. I've decided that since there's 7 of these perpetually cheapening films in this franchise, I'm going to just dump the formality. They're all going to suck, and we know it. We knew after the first one it was all going to go downhill, and that hill is just getting steeper and more riddled with bugs, rocks, and animal shit the further we roll. Imagine my excitement. So, this film was released on March 25th, 2014. The second one was released prior on October 8th, 2013. That means between the second film's release and this one's was a total of about 5 months. 5 fucking months. The first sequel had over 2 years of time depending on when they started development, and it looked even worse than this one. Let's just do this already before I injure myself thinking about it. Roll the film. Our movie starts off with this pack chasing some caribou. Then we see these copy-paste fuckers chasing a few stragglers for practice. After failing to catch their own meal, because this is a kid's movie and graphically killing it would probably get some mothers upset, the 3 pups from the last movie run off to chase some caribou of their own and show them how it's done. I sure hope they get trampled in the process. Of course they fail to catch any, but Claudine shows off her cool Tokyo drift that doesn't end up putting her any further ahead of the others, but who wants to see it actually do something? Fleet is a wolf from the northern pack, and is very impressed by Claudine's ability to do whatever this is. And through him we learn that himself as well as the rest of these barely distinguishable wolves are training for the Great Wolf Games. What is that, they ask? Well, it's where each pack sends a group of junior creatures from their territories to compete for, well, nothing really, just bragging rights. I don't know how you would tell who won anyway, they all look the goddamn same. Also, these guys are juniors? Watch the first movie again. Well, okay, actually don't for your health, but this would be a junior wolf. These things look like they were just born maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, and then run over with a car. Maybe the first games to see which one of them still has bloody afterbirth on them. So why haven't these 3 heard of the big event before?
McGrill says the Western Pack took a pass at the games.
Took a pass?
Hey, since you're not in the games, cheer for the Northern Pack!
Infuriated by this, they go to ask their father what's going on. And so we cut to, what the fuck else? Do you guys do anything else? Kate's away on a hunting trip with the other alphas, so Humphrey and the only one of his friends that could be bothered to load into the scene are fucking around gaily. When his kids arrive to question their father on why the Western Pack isn't participating in the games, it's apparently to protest the exclusion of other creatures than just wolves. That's all well and good, but isn't it the Great Wolf Games, after all? I mean, you know, excluding things that aren't wolves.
Dad, do you know anything about the Great Games?
Liar! Well, the Great Games are apparently racist, and the Western Pack is taking a pass to protest this exclusion. Of course, as this nervous little wolf corrected Fleet earlier, it can be all critters, not just alphas, so I guess the rules have changed, but shh, who cares about whether something is or isn't allowed? The kids desperately want to participate despite their dad's lack of ability to ask anyone about the rules, so off they go to form an inclusive team. Trying to fill that diversity quota, I see. While Claudette experiments with the world's terrible physics and tries to fly, she bumps briefly into this fella, a bear cub chasing some birds. She sees him jump around and run really fast and assumes he'd be the perfect fit for their team, and so off the 3 of them go to ask him to join.
Look, you're really fast, and from what I saw, a great jumper.
Is there an offer?
Yeah? To join our team.
But what else?
Oh, after consulting with this thing, his agent, named Agnes. Yeah, it's about as funny as it sounds, but the bear named Brent agrees to play so long as this thing, Agnes, the porcupine or hedgehog or whatever, porcupine, okay, gets to come along. They agree to these conditions, and we've got our team for the movie. A pun hitting the same open field as before, because animating is hard. The team of misfits start practicing for the games, only to discover a few things about their teammates. Like, for instance, Agnes has got a need for speed and can't control herself when she gets running too fast. As for Brent...
He's got bird issues.
They're not birds, they are monsters! Tweet, tweet, tweet! It's a cub!
Time out!
I still hear it! It's hiding behind Stinky, I can hear it!
Okay, I've been avoiding this up until now, but if I'm correct, this character as well as his agent, Agnes, are just reused from the last movie where one had no impact on anything and the other was a lost cub. Here, they made the bear special needs and gave the porcupine a sex change. After Agnes Black Widows the Fuzzy Hulk out of his tantrum, the discouraged pups worry that they may be in over their heads, and they go to get help from their father, who's
We're middle-aged now. You're much heavier. Ow!
cheating on his wife, and is apparently the bottom when he mud wrestles with Mooch. The pups, fighting through their emotional scarrings, ask their father if he'll train them to be more coordinated. Despite earlier saying this,
Claudette, the games are in a few days, and it takes 5 to form a team. Those alpha wolves you saw, they've been training all winter.
Humphrey just can't say no to his kids and agrees to do the best he can to prepare them for the games. They're woken up at the ass crack of dawn and dragged out to do some training. They manage to get both Brent's fear of birds as well as Agnes's speed issue under control. So great. The only thing about them worth wanting to see them overcome, and it's resolved in a few minutes. Given this is the third film in such an illustrious franchise as Alpha and Omega, I expected quality. We skip ahead to the day of the games, and everyone arrives, including Fleet and the Northern Pack, who start doing drills immediately as they get there under their coach named Nars. I actually thought his name was Coach through the entire movie because, well, I couldn't be fucked to pay attention, and also I thought it sounded like an alien planet. Coming over to chat, we do meet Coach Nars.
Well, great day for a game. My Alpha team is raring to go.
And his obviously pitch-shifted voice. He has an actual voice actor, David Lodge, who's done work for Digimon and Bleach and about 1,000 other shows. He's got versatility, and his voice can sound almost like it's pitch-shifted on its own with how well he does it, but
I just love competition. I mean, I live for it.
yeah, it's clearly altered here. Why? If you guys wanted a deeper voice for the character, why didn't you hire someone with a deeper voice or direct him differently? Why pitch shift his performance? You might as well have just gotten anyone to play him at that point.
I had a dream about this day. It was so clear. Running, sliding, the thrill of victory. Father, I tried to win it for you. I really tried. I did.
There is one for the birds.
I mean, she's a girl, I know, but it was the best that I could do.
Jesus, if you close your eyes, this starts to sound like a serial killer's audio diary. And with that altered voice,
I had a dream about this day. It was so clear. Running, sliding, the thrill of victory. You know, Father, I tried to win it for you. I really tried. I did. I did. Father, I mean, she's a girl, I know, but it was the best that I could do.
yeah, good luck explaining that one to your kids, Mom and Dad. I'm out of here. Well, everyone sneaks away during Nars' mental breakdown, and the games can begin. The first is the relay race, in which Humphrey's kids do surprisingly well, actually, managing to beat the much more athletic team from the north, as well as the androgynous cookie-cutter teams from the other two directions on a compass. During this race, the move that wins Claudette and her team the final lap is her spin-out technique, which Nars here recognizes as Kate's signature move. Apparently he lost to Kate years ago, and he's still...
She's a girl, I know, but it was the best that I could do.
kind of messed up about it. Given his state earlier, I'm not sure this man should be around kids, ever. He talks to Humphrey about all this, revealing his bias towards Omegas and just being a general dick.
Hunting trip? So she wears the alpha in the family, huh?
Yeah, but have you seen the size of Humphrey's howl? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We made the howl joke. God, I am truly running out of ideas.
Boo! You stink!
Later on while he's practicing, Claudette tries to put the moves on Fleet, but he's having none of that after losing the race.
I'm just trying
My
to...
dad says you're good, but not as good as your mom was.
Even later on, Claudette is still trying to find Fleet despite what he said, and catches his father telling him to play rougher tomorrow, and implying that they should cheat. So naturally she just keeps this to herself, and the next day the games continue like normal. Oh, I wonder what this game will be. Some kind of sport, or maybe a new location with... That is a hill. They're jumping up a hill. You went from running and jumping across the field to a hill. Okay, fuck it, the next one's gotta be different. Maybe there will be more team activities with coordination, and I'm setting myself up for disappointment, aren't I? I should just accept this is Alpha and Omega. It's not gonna get any better. During this race to the top, it's clear that the Northern team aren't playing fairly, pulling shifty stuff that the judges overlook because, I don't know, they're dinner to these guys any other day of the week, so I guess regardless of what they call, they're fucked. The North may win this round, but through their rough play, this quiet wolf named McGrill is injured.
McGrill, are you okay?
She slipped on the rocks.
Can you still compete?
No, McGrill, don't.
What is she saying? Why won't she ever speak directly to me?
Grill, are you okay? Speak up, now!
She can't, Dad.
Why not?
Because she's terrified of you.
Fuck, that's heavy stuff. Like, really heavy. She's actually terrified to the point of not being able to speak, not just to him, but even to strangers. I mean, I was joking earlier, but this guy should not be around children. At all. Ever. Well, anyway, with McGrill out of the race and only one game to go, Nars makes a deal with Humphrey that his son and Claudette can have a special race to decide the winners. Everyone agrees Claudette can win easily, and they agree to the terms. While training for the final race, Claudette and Fleet make up for his douchebaggery earlier, and she teaches him the basics of the slide move, to less than desired effects.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Whatever that was, you have to hate your opponent to win.
Oh, really, Dad? And how did that work out for you?
Get back here! You need to train!
I've trained enough. Go ahead, Dad. Make me a champion, right?
No excuses tomorrow. You hear me?
Okay, time out. Look, I actually do appreciate you trying to teach some kind of moral. Specifically this one. Because when it's done well and blended into a story, it can be a wonderful thing for younger viewers. It can enrich the experience. It can add another layer to an already good story. Note that word there, good. But besides that, this is too heavy for you. It's too heavy for this concept. I mean, we went from a movie about love against all odds to a film about the power of family to teamwork and the ill effects of child abuse. Do you kind of see what I'm getting at here? Despite Nars nearly putting another kid out of the race, his son runs off without a mark on him, that we can see, and Claudette returns home sullen. Her spirits lift, though, as Kate has returned home early to see them finish the last of the games. Claudette and her mom share a discussion about what's really important, not truly winning, but having fun and all that crap. But I'm sorry, can someone please agree with me that this is distracting? Cheap animation and long hair do not mix. Kate should have severed her head from her shoulders by now with how many times the hair is clipped through her neck. The next day, everyone gathers in the fucking... They gather in the same field that's been used 1,000 times already. And when the race actually starts, I want you to take a wild guess how many new and varied locations were given. Yeah, that's right, nothing. Recycled scenes and skies that break like this for some reason. They haven't learned a thing from the last movie, have they? Well, during the race, they give each other advice and let the other catch up, leading to Claudette helping Fleet learn to drift. Then they cross the finish line together on purpose, and it's declared a draw. However, this doesn't require a rematch, it's just over. Thank fuck.
Fleet, you come back here!
That was it, Dad. Those were my games.
Son, I am so proud of you.
Yes, with a single smile and an I'm so proud of you, this abusive family subplot is poorly wrapped up, like a Christmas present from a broken home. Claudette and Fleet go off for a romantic stroll and the movie ends. That's it. There's not much more to it than that. You just watch the whole movie. I think it's time for finishing thoughts. Despite technically being better than the second in terms of how everything in the story was balanced and handled, this movie is still terrible. Its animation is bad, obviously, but on top of it, the stories and characters of these movies are increasingly boring. They gave Claudette a little bit more attention and eventually a boyfriend in this movie, but we're still leagues from calling any of these characters developed, let alone good. And the new ones are not anything to waste your time remembering. I'm aware this franchise isn't exactly known for having interesting stories or characters, but damn it, that's what's so frustrating. 3 movies, and not one succeeds in being at least interesting. This movie was just ripping more of the dwindling assets in the hopes kids won't notice. Why would it waste time trying to engage you or commit fully to the story it's telling? It's got money to make. Then there's the abuse subplot, which is swept under the rug with a smile and a throwaway apology. Rather, telling him that you're so proud of him, so everyone lets you take him home where you can beat him in secret. What, you don't think he would do it? Need I remind you how mentally unwell this guy is? Also, side note, Great Wolf Games? I expected great games. Varying contests, maybe at least an actual game of some sort, like a sport. No, what we got instead are locations repeated from previous movies and poorly animated races. There's two words you'll likely be hearing a lot from me from here on out. Repeated and recycled. This series is infamous for its later animation, and honestly, the fact that it gets worse really fucking scares me. This movie was a cheap as hell, watered down, lackluster, cash-grabbing, child-scarring piece of crap that smells like a bargain bin fire. And you sold it to people with a smile. And this was only the third one. I've still got 4 more. I mean, how could you let the animation get worse after this? How can you even make it worse after this? At what point is it even considered animation anymore? I mean, it's barely even rendered. I was too nice to this movie. I was too nice, okay? This movie, it was awful. I hated it. It's boring, but it's worse than mediocre. It's worse than just bad. It's an alpha and omega movie. And now I need an ice pack for my head. Ow. I gotta go. Look, I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace.